Today we are deep diving into the Shimmer face oils. There are 4 different face oils. I just have Midas today. The lightest of the Shimmer face oils is Pink Opal, which is kind of a whitish pink tone. And then there's Cool Rose, which will be flattering on so many different skin tones. That also has a subtle pink tone to it, but it's less bright than Pink Opal. Then we have Midas, which is another crowd pleaser. This looks good on so many different skin tones. And then their deepest shade is Bronze. Bronze is a great one to mix into your foundation if you have lighter skin. You could also use it as a body glow, but if you have deeper skin, it's a beautiful highlight. I'll be demoing Midas today, which is a beautiful champagne, slightly warmer tone. I also think it's probably one of their most popular shades, so let's go ahead and get started. There are a few different ways you can use the Shimmer oil. You can mix it into your foundation, or you could do it as the final step as a highlight. I believe the reason they created the Shimmer oil is because some people felt like the Miracle Balm was too heavy on their skin. They wanted to come out with a lightweight option that would also add a beautiful glow without it feeling as heavy. I also have the Miracle Balm so we can compare them. This is the Miracle Balm in Magic Hour. It looks more pigmented in the container, but it shears out really well. This is the Shimmer oil. Usually I lay it on its side, that way the oils don't separate. I recommend giving it a good shake. The biggest difference between these two products is this one is more lightweight. This one has a thicker consistency. This is really thin. This is the shade Midas. This is what Midas is looking like. It's a lot more opaque. This is Midas. This is Magic Hour. They both have a lot of sheen to them. If you have oily skin, I recommend being more sparing with either of these products. I also think the shimmer content is actually a slightly larger particle in the Miracle Balm. The Shimmer oil is much more finely milled. If you're looking for more of a glassy skin effect, this will be better, but this is also really pretty in the sun as well. Here's a closer look. You can see those particles in the Miracle Balm. Other Miracle Balms have less shimmer. All of the Hour shades have more sparkle in them. I'm just comparing these two because they're the most similar to each other. I'll clip back my hair before we start. I'll be mixing Midas into my foundation. I have the WTF. I'll be mixing Ivory and Beige together because I think I've gotten a bit more sun. It's honestly been a while since I've used WTF. I like to use it more in the winter time, but I still want more coverage, which is why I didn't go for the Just Enough. I'm not gonna mix the two shades on my hand. I'm just gonna directly put a few dots on my face, and then with the brush, it'll naturally blend the two shades together. You don't need to go through the extra time of mixing everything on your hand. I'll put Midas on the back of my hand. I want to be able to control where I'm putting this. If you have a shade too light of foundation, you could also mix the Shimmer oil in Bronze with your foundation, and that can help deepen your foundation shade a little bit. This is super sheer, so if you are gonna try to use it to go a little darker, just keep that in mind. I'm using a kabuki brush and I'll rub it all around. The Shimmer oil is so finely milled, it looks just like your skin, but better. If you wanted on some no makeup days, you could just use the Shimmer oil on your face if you wanted that added glow without any coverage. Here's that first layer of WTF and Shimmer face oil combined. Now I'm just taking the Shimmer oil and I'm going right over it too. I really want a lot of glow on my skin. Also, if you have a foundation at home that you feel like is offering too much coverage or it's too thick, you could mix a little bit of this in and it'll help cut the thickness. Because this is so thin, it'll help with that consistency and to shear it out a bit, which is also a really great tip for the Shimmer face oil. The face oil mixed into your foundation is not an essential step. It's only if you want an extra boost, an extra glow. You could take it down your neck, especially if you're wearing something off the shoulder. You could put the Shimmer oil on there and it would look beautiful in photos. The most popular use for the Shimmer face oil is to be used as a highlight. A highlight is designed to be used on the high points of the face. There's a light or a lamp on and you're looking at your face. Wherever the light reflects, that's where the highlight's supposed to go. Typically want to place highlight onto the high points of your cheekbones, so right there where you can see that reflecting happening on the ridge of the nose. I like to put a little bit on the top of the lip and even on the center of the lip. Then you can also put the highlight on this other side too. you. Because highlight typically is a lighter color than the rest of your other colors, you want to use it at the end of your routine, because if you put a bronzer over your highlight, it might muddy up your highlight, it might take away from the highlight, which is why you want to put it at the very end of your routine. I'm gonna go ahead and do my bronzer and blush now, and then I'll show you what the shimmer looks like after. I also love the Westman Atelier contour stick. This is a mini size. The difference between contouring and bronzing is contour is a cool tone and bronzing tends to be neutral to warm in tone. You want to put contour where the natural shadows are happening, so it's pretty much the opposite of where you're placing your highlight. This will give you a more snatched look. If you want to look like you've lost a little weight, contour is great for that. If you go too crazy, it can cause a sunken in kind of look, so that's why you don't want to apply too much contour. It can also look gray on some people if they've used too much. And then when you have gray all over your face, you can look really lifeless and dull, so it's important to not go too crazy with the contour. Now I'm using my cream bronzer from Say. This is my By Mario brush, picking up the color, sweeping this across the forehead. You don't have to be so specific about where you're applying your bronzer. You can be much more liberal with this application. This is also a pretty natural product, so you can kind of get away with putting a lot on your skin. For blush, I'm picking up the Rare Beauty blushes. These are their liquid blushes. These are travel sizes. I love mixing them. These have quickly become some of my favorite blushes of all time. They're super pigmented, so I think these travel sizes are gonna last quite a while. I'm mixing Happy and Hope together on the back of my hand. This is all I put on, just a dot, and then going back in with the Mario brush and picking up that on the back of my hand. It naturally mixes, so I don't have to mix them together. And I'm lightly going right onto the high points of my face and tapping that on. I'd probably add more blush, but for today's look, I want the highlight to be the star of the show. Now that we've finished the rest of the makeup, I'll put it on the back of my hand. Just squeezed such a small amount. I'll spread it out on the back of my hand with the finger. Here's how much I'm picking up, focusing the highlight on the high point. I also feel like my skin is already glowing enough, but if you're trying to vamp it up a little bit, this would be really pretty. I've strategically placed the highlight on those high points. So if you're out to dinner and it's a candlelit dinner and you turn to the side, you'll really see that highlight pop. You'll be glowing from within. You won't see that shimmer because it's so thin and finely milled. It just looks like light reflector. Here's a closer look. This would be beautiful on the beach, on a boat. You can use it in place of your Miracle Balm during the summer months. You might find that you like the feel of it a lot better because it's more breathable. If you feel like you have a little too much shine on your skin, that's when you'll want to use some translucent powder and just set those areas. Hopefully now you have a better understanding of the Shimmer face oils. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to comment below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.